if it was illegal to say stupid things into a microphone.
Why must you be so stupid?
These guys would be doing life without parole.
Hey, everybody, we're back from prison.
Why do we keep encouraging this kind of behavior? It's the Breaking the Ice podcast with Josh Dolan.
You know, we could, go to jail for this.
Along with Mike Shue and Isaiah Moskahana Mana Blitz Boskowitz, whatever the hell his name is.
School.
Does this actually
work? I don't
work?
think so.
Yeah, Isaiah's got a microphone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Josh has been asking me nicely for like a year and a half. Can you just put the big boy mic back in front of your face?
Because you would insist on using it when me and Shu were using headphones.
The shit that's in front of me to get this to work is fucked up because my laptop is the camera's at the bottom, so it's staring up my fucking nose, and I'm like, I gotta set this whole thing up, and I'm texting Josh like, hey, can you help? And I'm like, his girl's probably screaming in his ear right now, and he's like, I can't fucking help you log on to fucking Zoom. But
I wish Zoom had the same kind of editing function like the markup function on an iPhone. You know, when you take a picture and you can draw on it, so I can make that into just a fucking penis. Look at that, man.
Let's go back to the days we used to just go to each other's desks at WAAF. I'm working in sales. Mike would come in, fucking flip the calendar 4 months and draw a huge cock right through the middle of my fucking calendar.
That was March 18th. It's good. There's a big hairy fucking penis there.
And I'd sneak into his office, who he was sharing with LB. So LB would be sleeping there at 3 p.m. and fucking draw cocks all over. See, it kind of looked in place in your office, out of place in mine in sales.
Right. There was cock all over my office. So, you know, but
and also mine
and
the back room with the glass, because on my Facebook memories yesterday actually was you with a penis you drew on one of the scrap pieces of paper pressed up against the window.
Should we discuss the penis fetish drawing, Michael?
No, it's pretty basic. I mean, you know,
I like cock.
It just goes back to high school. You know, dicks are funny, and you know,
Josh, is this all right?
We always used to do that. We used to just draw dicks on paper like we were passing a note, like while we were on the air. And like Danielle would be talking about something, and I'd write something, you know, earnestly, like just like, oh my God, okay, I gotta, you know, she's like, look at me, and I'd give her one of these, and I'd write it down, I'd hand it to her, she'd open up, look at a dick, and then she'd just fucking give me this. But I could never break her. Could never do it.
You can't do that. Shit at Fidelity. You can't do that shit at Fidelity.
Yeah.
Just by looking at her while she's trying to do a live read, we would make eye contact.
After a while, it was like, just looking at her, and she's like, stop. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Are you getting that? Because I haven't seen your setup and what you're doing at the Pike. I mean, how has that been? Are you working with anybody, or is it just you in the room? What's going on?
It's just me and a man in a Nazi uniform with a gun to my head. Why?
Wow, that sounds like a scene out of Jumanji.
So it's really chill. That's what I'm trying to say. Really,
yeah. Isn't it like the guy from the country station does the news?
Yeah. Let me tell you something about Adam Webster. Okay,
this is going to be good because you like him.
This guy, first of all, I get there at 4:30 in the morning. He's already been there for half an hour.
Oof.
Tracking the country station's morning show.
No.
Then he's got to do the news for WXLO, our sister station. And then he runs back and forth doing the news for them, coming in, doing the news. Doing the news for them is way different than doing the news for me.
Yeah.
You know,
because yours is dick jokes.
He's in there doing the news, and they're not really interrupting him. And then it's like, oh, this is the best place to go apple picking this fall. And then he comes in and does the news for me, and I'm just like, you know, yeah, Bezos' rocket does look like a dick.
Yep.
And
it's going to rain today, and the Woo Sox are playing at 7.
Right.
Fuck
yeah.
you
know.
And I have Bezos' dick audio. Hold on.
So up until 7:30, he's literally working 3 radio stations.
Shocking radio in the current state that it's in.
Yeah. So and then you know what? You know what he does at 8:30? He does his last news for me, and then you know what he does?
Grunt work in the bathroom.
Your sidekick.
He goes to work
on like a real job.
He is a real. I don't know if he wants me to mention. It's not his real job's nothing to be embarrassed about, but I just don't know if he wants me to mention.
Is he a ball doctor?
No, he's not a doctor, but he does work in the medical field.
Medical marijuana.
No, unfortunately not.
Proctologist,
but he goes to his 9 to 5
pediatrician. Okay.
after he does all that stuff.
Okay.
He goes to his the job that pays.
Yeah, but he loves it. It's the same
Yeah,
reason.
that's right. Exactly. The guy
works
works his ass off. And then when the Railers are in season,
Yep.
he's Josh, you've seen him. He's the guy that walks through the stands, the bald guy.
Yes, yeah. He actually did the
people.
play-by-play on your pie eating contest, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
So he's
I was standing right next to him.
He does that, I mean, during the hockey season. I mean, the guy's just nonstop.
He's into it,
and
though.
you know what? And you know what else he's doing? He's fighting cancer.
Jesus Christ.
The guy had lymphoma. It's now in remission, thank the Lord.
Good.
But he went through chemo, and while he was going through chemo, he was still doing that. He was still working that. The guy's amazing. I feel
now,
like
what's his
fucking pussy.
what's his diet?
Whoa! I heard pussy. I heard diet and pussy at the same time.
He actually he eats pretty well, because when he first got the news that he got cancer, a lot of stuff obviously changed, and he eats pretty well. He's not like super ripped or anything, but he's an active guy. A lot of kayaking and hiking and stuff like that. He
beat the cancer though, 100%.
Oh yeah, and that's why he's allowed to come back in the studio now, because his immune system was compromised because of the chemo and the cancer.
Think a little bit.
And he couldn't get a vaccine.
Right.
So because the vaccine wouldn't take, and so he had to wait till his white blood cell count went up, something like that. I'm probably getting it wrong, but then he did, and so now he's able to be in the studio, and the guy's amazing. I feel like such a fucking pussy when I'm in there working.
Like I'm doing a couple of breaks and talking about jokes.
I'm doing mornings at the Pike, but he's doing mornings, at the Pike and Nash Icon, and he's doing news for the other station, and then he goes to work. Wow. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So,
and then here I am. I'm mad because I had extra dishes to wash today. I was like, use the muffin tin. Don't use the muffin tins.
And this guy, and the other thing about this guy, he doesn't complain about shit.
That's awesome.
He doesn't complain about anything because his
I
priorities
complain about
are
all
straight.
of it.
He's looked the Grim Reaper in the face. His priorities are straight. He's like, I'm not going to get upset because I can't, the copy machine is out of paper.
No,
I
almost fucking died.
I know. I'm not going to get pissed off because, I couldn't find a parking space.
He just works 24/7. And then, one thing goes wrong for me. I'm like, well, I guess I'm done with work today. I'm going outside.
Yeah, fuck life.
Josh's dog, Lenny, dies. He's like, I can't fucking do this.
Jeez. Wait, did Lenny die?
No,
Lenny,
I don't know why he said that.
Oh,
excuse
Jesus.
me, Lenny Barks.
Like, oh, man.
I meant Lenny Barks. Sorry.
Oh, Barks.
Big difference. Lenny Barks, not
like,
die.
why
That
would
is a
you
big
say
difference. What the frig, man?
Wow, that was a total Freudian fucking what?
I mean,
That
who's
dog-
trying THC today? You or me?
I've only met that dog twice, and both times I thought I was gonna die.
Why?
It was like facing Cujo.
No.
The thing hates me. You know what?
He-
It's a racist dog.
No.
The dog hates Asians.
I don't yell at the TV.
You train that dog to hate Chinese people.
You don't have
He
to
came
train
like
them.
that.
They naturally hate the Chinese. It's not your fault, dude. It's not your fault.
Yeah. No, I've never had the last time I met him, I was in there and I was holding the baby, so I could see how Lenny could get protective.
And you
Yeah,
were
but
probably
he's-
fucking high.
No, I was sober, but I was swinging the baby by her ankle over my head. So,
Here, Lenny.
yeah.
But Shu said that was a healthy thing to do for the baby. It gets blood to the brain.
Yeah, it gets blood to the brain, right?
He has an 18-year-old. You got to listen to him. You got to listen to him.
If you just don't hit her against anything, you'll be fine.
As hard as he used to when she was born.
And if
You just barked out. You just said Cujo, and it reminded me of something. I'm reading Stephen King's book on writing. Have you read that? Stephen King's book on writing is fucking awesome. It is
that sounds
him
confusing.
talking about how I got here, and there's a part where he was fucked up on drugs and alcohol, and he talked about how all the struggles him and Tabitha went through, his wife, to get to a certain point, and when Carrie in the early 70s started to kick in a little coin, that helped, and then bigger coin kicked in with The Shining, but he was abusing alcohol and drugs more and more and more and more and more to the point of intervention. And the chapter I just started to read, he goes, things were just fucking sad. He goes, Cujo, I don't even remember writing Cujo.
Yeah, I heard that too. That he didn't even remember it. But
Really?
Yeah, it's a short read. It's Stephen King's book on writing. It's his point of view of how the class paper. It was in Maine somewhere that he went to school. You know, they always would force him to join the school paper. He's like, fuck this shit. He's going to like the crazy, scary movies with his friends and writing. When he would write stuff about teachers one time, he got in trouble because he made up these fucking crazy character names and like all the kids loved it. But of course the teachers were like, you can't fucking write about Mrs. Jones like that. And he just got to a point where everyone told him, nah, your shit sucks. It sucks. It sucks. And he just kept with it. And when he wrote Carrie, it's cool. It's cool to hear from him where those abusive bully kids came from in his world and what they did to the girl that was Carrie. And then the problem was the alcohol and the drugs. He's been 12. I think that book was written in 2000 maybe. So he's pretty well sober now, but he was fucking so blind. He doesn't remember writing Cujo. That's a great fucking book.
That is.
What else are you going to do in Maine?
That's true. It's
in
like
the dead of winter.
In the winter. Yeah.
But it's the creative. I mean, dude, Mike, 30, how many years in radio? I mean, we've fucking drank and smoked and done things. It's just this, and sometimes better shows happen when you're high or what. It's just a whole creative, that side of the brain. Josh hasn't abused a lot of any drugs at all, but alcohol. Sometimes you think you're funnier. Sometimes you probably think
you are right. It's
correct.
like when you're high, you think you're a better driver.
And you're like, I just hit a fucking telephone.
I'm on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I was thinking about that today where I was thinking about like drinking and like how this past week I didn't even really want alcohol. And I was like, what is this, because I'm like growing up or just because I met my quota? And I was just like, it's also gotten to the point where it's like drinking's not even fun. I'll just open a drink and start drinking it and like without thinking about it. And I was like, what good has even like come from drinking this? And then I was like, oh, you know what? Actually, a lot of stuff. But that stuff, you know,
that's at the beginning of the buzz. But then the further you go, you're like, oh, my pants are off. What the fuck?
Because I was like,
doing?
I don't know if I would be where I'm at or like done some of the things I've done if I didn't have alcohol to numb me, like doing stand up. But also it got to a point where I was like, this isn't making me better. It's actually making me worse because my reaction time is slower. And then I'm like, I'm so numb up there that like, even if a heckler is saying something, I'm so numb that I can't even get mad at what they're saying because I'm like, huh?
Except if you go back and Michael get this Dr. Johnny Fever on WKRP, his fucking reaction time got faster.
Oh, yeah.
They did a drunk test on the air on WKRP.
I go the complete other way. The worst one ever was I was doing Endicott College. I've probably talked about this, obviously.
That's where you met your wife.
Yes, I did the Endicott College show, and it was like an auditorium of, I don't know how much it holds, a lot, like 1,000. Yeah, and I was drinking just a straight bottle of Absolute vodka with the two other comedians.
Mommy.
And then I remember asking a stranger, who was Laura, when I go on, I was like, can you check when I go on? And she's like, you already went up. And I had no memory of doing it. I was backstage wondering when I'm going to go up, and I already did 30 minutes.
And she said, that's the man. That's the man that I'm going to marry.
Yeah, so anytime she's like, whoa, what are you doing with your career? Or like, you drink too much. I'm like, this is how you met me.
Who signed up for this?
I haven't had a drink.
No, there's a kid involved.
I haven't had a drink in 3 weeks.
Yeah, talk about that again, because you were hangry and fucking grouchy as shit a couple of weeks ago. But makes sense because you're changing what goes in your body. How's it going?
Yeah,
have you lost weight?
It's going all right. Yeah, I'm doing the Awaken 180 thing. Yeah, I've lost 8 pounds
Congrats.
so far. And
are you bored out of your mind though?
No, I can still smoke weed.
Oh, see, that's the thing. You put the weed, put the drink down, and just get fucking.
But doesn't that make
high.
the other wants for food come up? Like,
oh yeah, that's really tough. Yeah,
I've had so many. The reason he hasn't lost 18 pounds is because he's high shoving the fucking ding dongs down his throat.
Yeah, well, I wish I could have a ding dong right now.
No, he's shoving carrots down his throat.
Your teeth are a little orange, dude.
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't really missed it. I miss. You know what I miss? I miss like trying new beers. I was at the Black Crows last night, and my friend Ben Kaplan. You remember Ben?
Yes, Ben's awesome. How is he doing?
He's doing all right.
Last time I saw him was at the Black Crows.
Yeah, exactly. He's the world's biggest Black Crows fan.
Well, isn't Maddie Blake kind of.
Yeah, well, if Matty Blake was a Black Crowes fan, he would stop all production on Treasure of Oak Island or wherever that show is, and he would have come to the show, but he didn't.
He didn't go to the last one either that I was at.
I kept texting him videos. He was getting really sad. But
so back to Ben. So you missed the beer
so
tasting.
he's got like a cooler full of these beers I haven't tried because he's like the beer aficionado. And I can't
He's
drink
awesome.
any of these. I'm walking through the parking lot at the Xfinity Center, and it's nothing but people drinking and burning meat on grills, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then I walk in there and it's like huge signs, fried chicken, cheeseburgers, hot dogs, tacos, tequila.
They should have just held a sign up, hey, shoe.
Yeah, it's like, hey, come over here. There should just be a sign with a fist saying, hey, come over here. We'll stick this in your ass. You'll forget you're hungry.
You might even write a really good book.
I know, right? But so I'm sitting up there and watching the show, and all of a sudden it just hits me. This is the first time I've been sober at a Black Crow show
Ever.
I've seen them like maybe a dozen times.
Yep.
Been so fucking high every time.
Well, you didn't get stoned?
Or both. No, because I had to drive home. And I had to leave I had to leave like halfway through.
So you were full on sober.
I was full on like stone cold sober watching the Black Crowes for the first time.
And you're like, this music sucks.
I'm like, why do I even like these guys? Oh, these guys are terrible.
No, but I'm curious.
Actually, they were great, but
did you enjoy it more?
You know what? Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way home. I was like, I don't think I enjoyed it any more or any less.
But did you remember more of it?
It was still a good show. Probably.
Because that's why I stopped wanting to be drunk at Bruins games, because me and Laura used to get like dismantled at the Greatest Bar beforehand, or I shouldn't say the name of a bar, but we
dismantled.
we also used to like pregame before we would go pregame for the game. And then I started being like, I don't really remember being at the game. Like, why even go?
Right.
So now when we go in, I'll have one or two, but I want to remember being there. That's the point of
how many pre-games does it take to go in? I mean, how many times you didn't get high, Josh, but Mike in high school, just like sitting out, out in the parking lot, getting baked to go into school. At least this was me at fucking Danvers High, and then waiting for the first break to go get high some more. And then alcohol came into it. And you're like, wow, Jesus fucking Christ. How am I not getting arrested in high school?
Yeah. My problem is that when we'd get high out in the parking lot, we just wouldn't go.
That sounds like me.
Let's just go in the woods, man, to get more.
Yeah,
high.
it's like then we'd sit there and we'd like be staring at the staring around, looking around like so high, and someone would say,
"I'm not going."
Are we going? I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Do I really want to go to social studies? Fuck you.
Let's walk. We just walk the train tracks to this Burger King on the Mass Pike and just
That's what me and my buddy Tony were like, but not with school, just with anything. You've met Tony, right, Isaiah?
Tony's fucking awesome.
We did a few
Tony's
bonus episodes.
You and Tony are fucking. You and Tony get fucking going, and it's funny. But he's your fucking. He's a sidekick of yours. We got to get him on the show.
I don't know if that's a good idea. Names will start dropping. But that nobody else knows.
You fucked at the traffic circle. What?
But every time we would go somewhere in pregame, we've gone to Foxwoods twice and not left the hotel. We just pregame too much to the point where we're like, the sun's coming up.
Yeah, what's the use?
Yeah. Why did we come all this way?
Especially when you're at Foxwoods and you can get free drinks.
Right.
Well, you
just go downstairs and gamble.
In the casino. Yeah. Well, actually, gamble. Just sit at the nickel slots and wait for the waitress to come by and pump.
Tony's a gambler, though. When he gets drunk, he'll lose. I'm cutting that part out.
Oh, come on!
But he brought his like paycheck with him one time when we went, and he lost it in 5 minutes.
Jesus
Christ. I put $5 in and I lose that and I get mad and I won't gamble anymore.
Right.
He was just like, no, I'll get it back. I was like, I've never seen you win even a little bit.
You don't ever get it. You don't ever get it back.
No.
You're either some blind old lady from fucking Michigan who wins $40 billion, or you spend your life savings at a fucking casino.
Well, see, that's not fair. The blind old lady's retired and she's getting her Social Security and a pension or something. So at least she's got it coming in.
Yeah, that's taxpayer money going into the slots.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Taxpayer dollars. That's paid. Don't cut that one out.
the only time that I ever gambled multiple times in a night, because usually it would just take the one, I'd lose and I'd be done. But there was a time that the lady sitting next to me won $20,000, and they brought the cash to her, and they were counting it out, and I was like, "Oh, I got to keep playing." And then I lost $10, and I was like, "You know what? It's
Bullshit
not for
after 10.
They brought the cash to the table. That seems unorthodox.
No, you have to go up to the fuck. They probably brought up,
Especially with that amount. It's like
A
usually that
certificate.
amount they bring you into an office, and then they just
They
you know.
finger
at
you
Foxwoods.
and
She
asks
was
you
still
questions.
sitting at the slot machine, and they were handing her bands of. I was like, "This
No.
is dangerous." Like,
Wow.
it was.
No,
they were
no,
saying
no.
1, 2, and they meant 1,000. And they got
Oh.
to 20, and we were actually it was me and Laura, not me and Tony, but me and Laura just watched these stacks of hundreds just go by our face.
What? It's crazy when
Wow.
you watch those people go up and down the aisles. I've gone to Encore a couple times in Everett, and it's just like, when they're wheeling the money, the chips, the things that have to go into these machines is like fucking, it's security guards. You're like, wow, there goes the fucking Brinks trucks on foot. It's stupid how much money those places make. Stupid how much money they make.
Yeah. I was such a huge advocate for casinos in Massachusetts. I just remember going on like, there's no reason why we shouldn't have casinos in Massachusetts.
Mhm.
There's nothing. Gambling is, it's a choice. Nobody's
People are
making you
gonna do it,
gamble.
just like
you got to go in
weed.
there and they want to spend their money. That's their choice. And then I won't set foot in a casino though,
No,
because I'm terrible. I'm awful at gambling.
it's not
I'll-
that I
I'll lose
disagree with it. I
everything.
stink.
No,
at
no,
it.
I'm all for it. I think it's like one of those things that people should have a right to, but
Right.
I
You're bad at
won't
it.
do it myself because I know I'm bad at it. See,
Right.
so that's kind of proving my point, right? It's
Right.
like I know I'm bad
So stay
at
away.
gambling, so I'm not going to do it.
Now, see, I'm bad at it. I know I'm not going to gamble, but I go and people watch.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that's
God.
fun. There's
Oh,
other
yeah.
stuff to do. at the
Being drunk
casinos.
and watching people.
yeah. There's a ton of other
Oh my
things to do at the
God.
casinos, which is great, and I love doing that. But I can't sit at the blackjack table, and I can't.
No,
Play
you just
slot
start
machine.
losing. You start losing 100, 200, 300. You're like, what the fuck am I
can't
doing?
do that. I can't afford to do that.
What's the
That's
name of
just
your new
ridiculous. My car?
car? Yeah, because it was Barbara, and Barbara, God rest her soul, she's with a neighbor, right? What's the name of your new car?
Well, I got Bob and Linda.
Okay, Bob and Linda. I don't know where that came from. It popped in my head because my sister-in-law, this has nothing to do with gambling. I was just like, what is Mike Shue's car's name?
No,
Her
I
name's
never
Barbara.
had to put my car up at the table.
Right.
I never had
exactly.
to like break out the registration going, okay, I'll bet
Listen,
my car on black.
I
Let's
have
go.
nothing, but I have a registration for a car named Barbara that has
have an
over
02
300,000 miles on it.
Right. It's worth at least $150.
Please give me
You
175
can front me that.
and put it on black.
Now, what is that called when the gas you're putting in is worth more than the car itself?
It's
Dumb.
an investment. It's an investment in the future. It's an investment so he can get his daughter to fucking school is what it
Oh,
was.
man.
An investment to point B.
Yeah.
You said Grim Reaper earlier, and the Grim Reaper on Family Guy has passed. Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald.
What a fucking
Oh,
ride
yeah.
this past week. Holy fuck, really?
You've talked to him, Josh, right?
I can't remember. I think so.
Oh, drunk again.
Yep.
Oh,
I
gotta
see.
go.
That's
Gotta
how you
put
make it in radio. Just liquid
You're
confidence.
Fucking
Just
Adderall. Too much Adderall.
I was
Yeah.
too sober for talking to Jeremy Piven. I was like, does he hate me or does he hate everyone?
He's like, he's something about him.
A little
I don't
swarmy.
know, man. No, I don't know. He was very nice to us.
He was very
Piven?
nice, but I didn't
Piven or-
like the
or
way
North?
he started
Piven, yeah.
because when he came in, you were like, all right, just you were telling him what side of the mic to talk into, and he like wouldn't let that go for 10 minutes, and I was like,
Yeah,
I don't think I like
okay,
this guy.
All right.
Into the microphone.
Yeah.
He was
Norm
like, am I
Macdonald,
doing it
that's-
right?
That's
Am I-
crazy. Did you hear the audio of him? I heard it this morning. I forget who was talking to him, but he said he made this statement like, shoot, now I forget what the premise was, but it's why nobody knew he had cancer because he was
Wait. He had cancer.
Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald?
Norm Macdonald. Yeah.
That's how he fucking died?
Yes.
He'd been
I
battling
told you
it
that.
for the past
No
9
clue.
years. But he didn't want to tell anyone because he didn't want anyone to change their perception of him, which it does. And so, since stand up to him was his thing, he didn't want people like go to the show, goes, oh, Norm Macdonald's got cancer. We should probably go see him. Or I feel bad for Norm. And he didn't want any of that. And there was some audio of an interview where he was saying exactly that. Like, I don't want to, you don't want to tell people that because then they'll act towards you differently. And it's like, why should they, even if you're sick? And he talked about Richard Farnsworth, this actor who killed himself because he had cancer. He did like his last movie. It was like so painful for him because he had cancer. As soon as he was done with the movie, he like stuck a gun in his mouth. And he was like, that's the way to do it.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
the way to, he goes, and then he says at the end of this piece of audio, he goes, like that's, I wouldn't tell anybody if I indeed had some kind of ailment. I may or may not. I don't know, but I wouldn't go about it that way. And this was like 5 years ago.
Yeah, and he battled it for like what 9, so he was like right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And I had been recently going down a Norm Macdonald like rabbit hole too. He's just like he's one of the funniest guys that nobody talks about.
So dry and so direct. And if you watch Seth Meyers the other night when the news broke, obviously Seth and Norm worked together on Saturday Night Live. Both did Weekend Update. And it was just a little nice piece at the beginning of his show. And I don't watch these late night shows anymore. They're fucking exhausting, but this was good where he just talked about just be real. These real moments are what makes things good. And just talking about Norm and how he knew it's like, you can go onto Saturday Night Live and do Weekend Update and fucking bomb and it's fine. And he didn't give a shit. He would just say his jokes the way he would say them. It's like, if you don't laugh, fuck you, because here comes another one. And
you
that's
can tell
kind of
he was doing it for him. Like he thought what he was doing was funny. Like you see him on these talk shows. Yeah. And he would just go on and you're like, what are you talking about? Like you could tell he was enjoying the fact that everyone was like,
really? Huh? Yeah. It's like Andy, and that way he's like Andy Kaufman.
I was just going to say
looking
Kaufman.
for a laugh. He was just looking for a reaction. He said that either you want them to like totally lose it or you want dead silence. If you got a mix of the two, then you're done. Stephen
Wright was the same way too. Comes out and dry as fuck. And one of the first jokes I remember hearing is, that's some bullshit. It's not about the heights. It's about the widths. It just stands there. And you're like, holy fuck, you're right. If I have a big platform to stand on, I'm not afraid. But if I have an inch, I'm like, fuck it.
It's funny. And it's not funny in like a, it's not funny in like a Brian Regan kind of way.
Yeah.
This is not a diss on Brian Regan. It's just completely
but
different.
He's telling jokes and Lenny tells
in a way
jokes.
Where you're not necessarily laughing, but you're going,
he's making you
funny.
think. He's making you fucking think.
But like Norm Macdonald, I was just watching his Bob Saget roast. And his entire thing was just like they were the dumbest jokes.
It was reading them off of cards poorly.
And then he would like flip the card and just stare.
Yeah. That was like the roast. It was like he wasn't going to do what everybody else was doing. He was going to do just a really shitty job at his one of his best friends' roast. And that was like a roast. To me, that was like a roast in itself. I'm just going to do a shitty job at roasting you, and that's the roast.
Like
I'm
his
going to roast you so bad it's going to suck.
He's like, a lot of people say John Stamos.
Yeah.
John Stamos, he gets drunk after one beer. But he's not sure if it's the 8th or the 9th.
I know. And then there's that weird, like
silence.
Nervous laughter mixed with, murmuring.
And then just his grin, just looking at everybody. And then it's like once you catch on to what he's doing, it's like, oh, he's just doing this for him. And it's funny.
Oh my God. Lucia took me, it had to have been a handful of years ago. I would give my wife a hard time about if she would ever buy tickets to shows or anything, she'd just buy them and we'd be wherever. I'm like, stop it. Let me handle this. 30 years of working in radio. I'm used to being backstage, front row. I'll pay for it. Let's be in the front. And she's like, fine, fuck you. We're going to see Norm Macdonald on your birthday, front fucking row. I'm like, oh, this is great. And fucking, he was just mumbling on about whatever the fuck. It was great though, because she's kind of like, do you understand what he's saying? I'm like, yeah.
It's
do.
like, is he okay?
Right, because she's like, is he?
Does he know he's on stage?
Does he have a thing? I'm like, oh, that's his. I'm fucking dying laughing, going, that's his thing. His thing is he doesn't give a fuck. Why did the chicken cross the road? Fried egg. What? Yes, because you don't give a shit. Josh is so right. You're fucking doing it for yourself. Good for you, buddy. And rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
And he's also one of the only comedians I know of that would write his own, like, a guy walks into a bar joke. Like, nobody writes those jokes. They're just passed down. Like, nobody wrote them. They just came with, like, there was oxygen, there was, trees, the oceans, and then those jokes.
Right.
And he would, like, he told a few on Conan. Like, I don't know if you ever saw him on Conan when he talks about racism towards Polish people and ordering a Polish sausage. And he was like, so if I come in here, why would you assume I'm Polish? Because I ordered a Polish sausage. So I guess if somebody else walks in here and orders Chinese food, they must be Chinese. And then if somebody walks in here and orders a Belgian waffle, they must be a Belgian. Why would you assume I'm Polish because I ordered a Polish sausage? And the guy said, well, to start, this is a hardware store. And I was just like,
that's an awesome Polish joke. Right?
But he's making it like he's just talking on and on Conan, and you think he's actually mad about, like, racism against Polish people. It was the whole time.
It was the payoff at the end, like that moth joke that was going around.
Oh my God.
Built it up, and then it was a dumb punchline.
Right.
And
he did that on Conan.
That's the joke, just leading you on to something, and then it's just like, oh, really?
Right.
We just got duped. Yeah.
It sucks. And this has been obviously always when someone passes, but, like, oh my God, the shit on Facebook and Instagram, it's just one after the next. I just got consumed with it. And you're just watching all of this crazy shit from when he was early on, first shit through Saturday Night Live, got older, all these things. It just sucks that like Josh has made a good point. The funniest fucking comedian that no one talks about, but then he dies and boom, it's a whole fucking, memorial of his shit for 2.5 days on Facebook. But there's a lot of funny shit online about Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I love the fact he was the voice of the Grim Reaper on Family Guy. Right. That was a great,
probably his biggest credit.
Probably. But when the Grim Reaper came to kill Peter and couldn't, and then broke his ankle and had to stay on their couch.
Right. Yeah.
And then Peter was immortal for like a day. And he's running around telling his friends, I'll bet you all of your money I won't die if I jump off that building. And fucking Peter goes up, I'm still alive because the Grim Reaper's broken on his couch.
Now, can we dial it back for a few seconds? Did you just use a sound effect, Isaiah?
Sorry?
It sounded like you used a sound effect. You hit the oh, you are using sound effect. Now all of a sudden he has a microphone and he's using sound effects.
I found this in the drawer and I said, Josh and Mike are gonna be like, you fucking.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hold on.
Yes.
That's so hilarious.
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Dolan, everybody, Josh Dolan. Oh no, that's not the right one.
Wow.
Hold on. This is Josh at his stand-up comedy thing for Mistress Carrie. Thanks for coming, everybody.
There's a clear quality difference between the Spencer sound effects and then the radio sound effects.
Spencers. Right.
Spencers. I stopped by Chess King to get a new tie and went to. Oh, yours goes through the board.
Thanks for tuning in.
And that was Name That Tune.
Oh, so it popped up on my Zoom playing music. Should I push it? Set up professional audio in audio settings. Ooh, no, I'm just going to keep doing this. That's Josh next Tuesday at Mistress Carrie's thing.
Oh man, that's gonna suck not being able to drink at that. Last time I did the thing with her at the boat, they had these like purple drinks that they put one of those glowing fake ice cubes in, and it was insane. And then people were like, they had this like tequila that tasted like cotton candy or something like that, and the guy kept buying me shots.
Did it actually?
I came home, I slept for 3 hours, I woke up, I was totally like just LB'd,
Oh, that's a
showing
thing
up
now.
That's tough.
Yeah, showing up drunk already, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
Showing
I can't.
Showing up to the Pike show drunk. That's not good.
I can't drink either if I'm going to be doing stand up for the first time in 2
Talk
years,
about
so.
this event. So this is, I can't make it. I am so fucked next Tuesday. It's not even funny, but Josh, so Mistress Carrie, it's her 150th drinks in the war room, right?
Cocktails,
Excuse me, in the war room.
That's
and
fine.
it's being done at
The Boat in Drake, great
Drake.
club. Awesome. And then Scruffy Wallace, who used to be the Piper and the Dropkick Murphys, has a new band called the Shadows of Boston.
Yep.
And they'll be playing their very first gig.
and
night.
Josh Dolan is opening the show doing stand up.
Just don't mention that because we want people to come to this.
Yeah. Also, I heard Carrie's not streaming my stand-up material. Just
Rightfully so.
out of courtesy for everybody else.
When was the last time you did stand up?
Like two years ago.
I think you'll do well, but I know in your head you're
I'll be
freaking out.
fine.
Exactly, you'll crush. Just go up there and do fucking Norm Macdonald shit.
I also feel better that I allowed myself to. I was just like, don't use your old jokes as a crutch. Number one, I can't remember most of them, and I think I got rid of a lot of footage of my old jokes just because they were. I don't
Just
know.
get some new shit. And what do you do? 15, 10, 10, 15? What do you got to do?
20 to 30. It's all new shit.
Okay.
Oh my
There you go.
God. A whole 30 minutes?
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
Think about how long it'll feel for me.
For us. God.
And Carrie's like,
people.
listen, Josh, you can come, but we're just not gonna stream that.
People are paying money to get in there, Josh. You can't.
I know, so they better buckle up.
You can't screw them out of that. That's their hard-earned cash.
That's
Yeah.
just fucking bad.
30
But
minutes.
anyway.
She wants you to do 30 minutes.
She has said 30 to 20, but we'll see what everyone wants.
He's gonna get 7 minutes in and be like, and we're
Solid
good. Back to
5.
you, Carrie.
But
Give her
it's
a solid
a
5.
they're a solid 5. I mean,
Yeah.
that's just saying hello nowadays. I don't.
Good. Do it. Walk around the stage and fucking just, put the record player out and do fucking Mighty Mouse like fucking Andy Kaufman and walk off. Who cares?
Yeah, no, but I feel fine with the material. It's not like I don't know how to do it. It's
Can you do some now? Let's
No.
practice now.
No,
Yeah, let's
Give
do
us
some now.
just a little bit, just one. Go.
because it's not like a joke
just
that I
one.
started. It's not like a joke that I started out with, like, oh, don't you hate wearing a red shirt in Target and someone else?
All right, no, Mike and I are the audience. We're having a couple
Yeah.
of drinks and you come out. Just go ahead, do a little something.
It doesn't work like this.
Give us
Yes,
2
it
minutes.
does.
Give us
No,
2
it
minutes.
doesn't.
Just give us
a solid 2 minutes.
just a little intro of what Josh Dolan is going to do. And what's the place called in Drake, Mike?
The Boat.
The Boat in Drake on
The Boat in
Tuesday.
Drake.
Mistress Carrie, 150th
Yeah.
Cocktails in the War Room. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Shue is here. We've got a great band. What's the band? It's the guy from the Dropkick
Shadows of
Murphys.
Boston.
Shadows of Boston will be joining us. We're having a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to start the evening off with Josh Dolan from Breaking the Ice, former WAF employee. Josh, the stage is yours. That's good.
I mean, yeah, that's just.
And thanks so much, Josh. Mike,
That's a
it's
total
yours.
90s radio fucking intro.
That's why I did it, asshole. Exactly. You should just grab the mic and be sitting in like a chair in the back and just start like telling fucking awful jokes. Get people's attention. Wait, like it's like a good wedding reception. You don't want to be right there after the wedding. You want to be like 40 minutes in when they're all, oh, let's get fucking shots because Susie got married. Nah, and then you're all fucked up. You could literally come out and do nothing and they think you're a fucking riot.
You gonna do it, Josh?
He's having
do
anxiety.
nothing?
His deep
Come
breaths
on.
are anxiety.
Come on.
He's gonna come on.
The
Just do a little.
producer for Fallon just called, says you got to do 2 minutes right now. We need you to do 2 minutes right now.
Go.
And
Do
then I might get Fallon and perform in front of nobody because nobody watches late night TV anymore.
A couple people
Come on.
watch that show. So go. Give us a solid minute. Go.
Not gonna happen.
Why?
That's not how this works. I'm still
That is
organizing,
how it
working
works.
it. No, it's
Diva.
not. It
Jesus.
literally isn't, though. You know.
That's
Well,
like
I mean, it's not like I wouldn't have to ask Bill Burr to do it. He would just be doing it. So as we talk for the next few minutes, just do some of it.
No, Bill Burr would not do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have to ask him, but he would already be funny, and you're not. So what the fuck?
I mean, wait. First of all, the worst setup ever. You're just like funny and go.
hey, the That Britney Spears, she closed out her Instagram account. That's crazy stuff, right, Josh?
I mean, she's engaged to get married again for the second time, but you know,
I don't get no respect. I've been watching a lot. I really wish I could go to this because I would fucking sit in the front row and torture you.
Sorry. Oh, there it is. Okay.
What? That's a sound we're not going to hear Tuesday.
Because you're not going to be there.
Hold on. That's Josh backstage after the show.
Oh my God.
Too much? Too soon? Sorry. In September during Suicide Prevention Month. Fuck, who am I?
I know, right?
Is it September?
Fuck? It is.
It is September.
You should do a whole 10 minutes.
Why should I know when Suicide Prevention Month is?
Yeah.
Prevention, not prevention. I have to go. I need to cancel my. I have to be there.
I just have Pride Month circled on my calendar, and that's it.
What, Dick Chugging Month? What'd you say?
Is that part of the Is that part of? Was that a joke, or are you just talking?
Dude, no, I'm just talking.
He's not. He's not. Can you imagine how bad this is going to be?
Yeah,
it's fucking awful.
Oh. I'm actually just going to get up and do state capitals. That's fine. I just
whatever
yell out a
works.
state. I'll name the capital, and then hopefully they laugh at the way.
Massachusetts.
Used to be Watertown, but it's Boston.
Washington State.
Olympia. We're not doing this.
Yes, we are. We have 48 to go. Alaska.
Is it Olympia?
Isn't that what I said?
It's no. Is it Olympia? I thought it was like
you can't
Spokane
question
or something like that.
You can't question. He's the comic because this is really funny shit. Maine.
Augusta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Augusta.
New Hampshire.
Concord.
Good man.
Vermont.
Montpelier.
Oh, Jesus.
South Dakota.
Pierre.
Ooh.
Wow.
I didn't know I was this good. It was just a crazy example, but you know, anyway,
California.
Fill in the Sacramento. But
I think you should do this actually.
No, this is good.
This is really fascinating.
I have to go and just take a mic and be like,
we should
Michigan.
attach a car battery to your nuts, and then when you get one wrong, the person who asks you can hit the button.
See, Mike. Now
and if I was a good radio person, I'd wear a costume while doing
People
it.
would be
fucking
riveted.
Comedy.
People would be riveted. Yeah,
we're gonna take the decades of fucking torture that Mike and I have done and bring it to your stand-up comedy world and go, this is how we operate.
That would be my act if I was opening up for Steve-O. But
right. I'm gonna put this thing on my balls, and when I get it wrong, what the fuck? Jackass.
We'll see what
coming
kind of
soon.
wild stuff I get into because I tried my first cannabis product today.
What'd you do?
They're
geez,
drops.
I'm sorry, guys. I've had Black Hawk choppers flying over my house all day today.
It's because you're Chinese.
What's going on in Worcester?
I don't know. The usual.
The fuck?
We had a moose here yesterday up the street.
No, you fucking
explains
didn't have
it.
a moose.
Yeah, there was a
People
moose.
murder moose. No, there's no moose.
Okay. We had a moose up the street yesterday. They had to bring in the fucking dart gun. And
a
it was
moose
crazy.
wanders into Worcester?
Yeah, Worcester's got
Pretty
woods
woodsy.
in it. Yeah, we've had bears. That's not the first time a moose has been wandering into Worcester. I have
This
deer
is why you have a Black Hawk over
I
your
have
house.
deer up the street, for fuck's sake, at Newton Hill. That's right in the center of the city, you know? But yeah, we had a moose up the street yesterday. But I don't know. They're training. They do training over here at the airport.
They do. Let's not get away from Josh's show. So what else is going to be at the show? Mistress Carrie, her 150th
Mistress Carrie's show. It's not my show.
But no, but you're the look. I saw a shoe and his fucking OJ t-shirt on the poster.
I know, you're right? That shirt's, surprisingly very unpopular shirt, but I think I might wear it in honor of Norm Macdonald. Because that's how he got fired from SNL, right? Or at least that's why they took him off Weekend Update.
Certainly was, yeah. Because I think
there was an NBC executive who was like good friends with OJ, so they told him to lay off the OJ joke, so he just doubled down on it.
Oh, he
my
went
God!
hard.
You don't tell him to lay off.
Yeah, right. He just doubled the OJ jokes.
That means OJ was the punchline of jokes that wasn't even a good setup for.
Oh no,
So-
he would do that. He would be, one of them was like the Pope.
Hold on.
Pope said that this is, something that we should, discuss, and it's the, you have to be compassionate to other people. And he put it all into a book that the Vatican's putting out, going, come on, OJ did it. He would say stuff like that. He would just put it
in the
at
middle of
end.
anything. Hold on.
Prince Charles made a comment today saying, come on, it's so obvious that OJ did it. He would just
With
throw,
Prince
he would
Charles's
just throw
face.
it in there. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's see if this works. Hold on.
Now the fake news. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California.
Yes. He was talking about OJ's book at one point, and he was like, OJ said, I would die. This is ridiculous. I would die. I would like step in front of a bus, or I'd take a bullet for Nicole.
Right.
And then he said that's really bad. That's bad luck right there. The one guy who said he'd die for you actually kills you.
Right? Let's see what else he does. Hold on.
On Tuesday at 1:15, the moment the Simpson verdict was delivered, Court TV scored its highest ratings ever. An hour later, the channel went out of business.
An hour later, the channel went out of business. I've watched so much fucking. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Hold on. Stay with me.
We're just gonna. This part of the episode, we just listen to Isaiah, listen to videos.
Are
on his
you
phone.
hearing it? Does it come through?
Yeah. It kind of sounds. I don't know. It sounds like shit.
All right then. All right, we're done.
I mean, it's like
You get the fucking idea. I don't like listening to you on the pike in the morning.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Isaiah.
Means you're listening,
I appreciate
Isaiah.
that.
So
Yeah.
I'm
listening.
It's the people that hate my guts that listen more, which
I
is
listen
fantastic.
to the stream. I comment on
Yeah.
things. Every time you put some fucked up thing from a listener on the text line, I'm always the one going, the WAAF fans have found a new home.
Yeah.
All right. I love you all.
All right. Well, Josh, work on that 30 minutes.
Yeah. Can you do just a little bit? Ooh, that's good stuff right there. I can't wait. I'm so glad I'm not going.
I couldn't
That was
tell if the Zoom froze up or is this...
No. That was him
this
freezing
stuff
up.
started kicking in.
Wait, go back to that before we.
Yeah.
bail
How
us.
long ago did you take that?
Like 2 hours ago.
So hold that up again. It's a droplet.
It's
Yeah.
not. Is it not? You're not feeling it?
No, or
After
maybe
2
I don't know what
hours?
I'm feeling.
Is
I
it
don't-
THC or CBD?
Both.
Both. Okay. And
What's the percentage of THC in that?
It says percentage 0.02.
Of THC?
Yes.
So when you
That's
what-
not a lot.
no.
buddy.
What
That's
dispensary did you go to?
Canacon? No, not Canacon.
No, that was the convention that I fucking.
That's the thing.
That's the thing that we did years
the one in
ago.
Air. Did you go to the one in Air?
No, Comcan
Okay.
in Medway.
So when you went, the bud tenders in there are good at, okay, like I've got anxiety or I can't sleep or I'm whatever, I need to wake up. What'd you tell them?
I told them anxiety, wanting to like I'm prescribed Adderall, but after a few days, the benefits go away, and then you just feel like you're on Adderall, and I'm like, this is doing nothing. I just feel like I took something.
Right.
So I was basically like, I want something that like doesn't take my focus away, and also
but brings
I'm
down
not
the anxiety.
pulling my hair out all day. And then they said try this.
All right. So you gotta give it time though.
What's the percent? Well, 2 hours, man.
No, but I'm saying like it's the first time it's in his body.
Okay.
So his body's going to react.
And it says one drop has 1 milligram, and it seems
1 milligram of what?
LSD.
It just says
that'd be great. Imagine
1
him on acid,
milligram
Mike.
of whatever is in this bottle.
How
But
much? What's the percentage of CBD?
Let's see, total percentage ND. What does that mean?
Of CBD, it says ND.
Yes.
Not applicable. Like what the fuck?
Hold on. Let me not read the package. Let me read the paper they gave me. Let's see where. Oh, okay. Here we go. For 1 drop, 0.5 milligrams of THC and 0.5 milligrams of CBD.
Oh, that's super low, man. That's not even like 1%. So,
Right.
Oh, well, they
No.
terrified me at the place. They were like, only take one drop.
well, that's because
People
different. Like
react differently.
I may take one drop and I may be like, oh, fucking kill me. But you, so you took it 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe give yourself a booster.
Yeah. Take another one.
Do you not feel anything at all? Do you feel
No.
less anxiety? Like I'm not asking
actually-
if you feel
actually,
high. Do you feel
a
a little
little more.
comfortable? Oh, really?
Because I was, once they were like, only take one. If you take more than like you should, like experiment with it. But I was like left there being afraid I was going to eat my own face or
No,
something.
you're not taking
No.
fucking acid. You can drink that whole fucking
That's-
bottle, and the worst case scenario is you're gonna get a stomach ache and feel a little bit woozy. But if you just it's like taking anything, Advil. Okay, take one, take two. Some people take four. You take four, you can rot your fucking stomach out. Right? Just take.
I also
doing
don't
the
think
right-
Advil is real, but
The rule of thumb is start low and go slow.
Right.
So if it's been 2 hours and you took one drop has 0.5 THC
Boost another
in
one.
it,
Do it. Put it in your mouth right now. Do it. Do
do
it.
they tell you to empty the whole dropper or just do one drop?
Do
they
it.
said one drop.
Don't do the dropper. Just there you go. Do it. There you
The
go.
whole thing.
The whole thing. Whole thing. Finish. And Mike, it's funny. You ask him, does he feel less anxiety while we sit here and fucking pepper him about
I
his
know, right? What the fuck's wrong with you?
the two bullies on the show
Do
are like,
something. Do your
feel
fucking
better?
kind. Be funny right
Thanks.
now. Be
It
funny.
says this is
something
fast
funny.
acting and will activate within 15 to 30 minutes.
Do one more thing. Do one more full thing.
No, just
And then
stick
and then
with that
hold
one
your,
full
and then hold
thing.
your daughter by
I
her
tasted
ankle.
that one that
No.
time. I think I
Mm.
may have squeezed a little hard, but we'll see what
what she
happens.
said. Listen, the thing is, I can guarantee you this, and Mike will agree. You can't over fucking think the shit, because I can not speak for Mike necessarily, but when I was in fucking high school being a dummy and was taking LSD, let's say, it had to be clear and present, fucking leave it alone. Because if I went into a fucking trip, Mike, you've done acid, right? Yeah, exactly.
He's having a flashback right now.
Exactly. He just bumped his spine and he's tripping right now.
Good
Fucking
times.
his dog just kicked him in the spine. Like,
Oh my God.
dude, I'm high now, Isaiah. But like it literally was like, because you're anxious. If you're anxious going into this new thing, don't just leave
Right.
it alone. Leave
That's
it
why-
alone and relax.
That's why I don't take LSD now. LSD is very intense,
Whew, intense
chemical
isn't even the word.
and
Oh,
in college, there was a time I tripped for 3 days straight. I just
Correct.
kept taking it and kept going and going, and then I woke up covered in dirt,
dog shit.
and just like had writing on my arms and stuff, and I was like, "What the fuck happened to me?"
That's what Adderall does to me.
Can you imagine?
Right?
No,
But
can you
it's like-
imagine doing acid now, Mike?
No, see, that's the thing. I'll never do it now because
Nope.
I'd be like, 30 minutes in after it kicks in, I'm like, oh man, this is the greatest thing ever. And then it's like, did I pay the mortgage
I
this
was
month?
just going to say,
Oh my
once you have a
God,
mortgage
meh,
payment,
meh.
you
And
can't
then I'd
be.
be like curled up in a ball going, I'm the worst father ever.
Right.
And,
My
yeah.
daughter's in the other room. What the
Oh my God,
fuck?
why? Yeah, you can't do it now. You
No.
can't unless I like hit Powerball and all of a sudden I have $52 million.
Oh, and if we could go to an island and
Right.
say, ladies, we will be back in 2 months. Like literally just, and no repercussions, just 2 months.
Yep.
Fine. I'd take mushrooms again. I'd fuck around with that shit.
Mushrooms are different though.
No,
I've
true.
I've taken mushrooms. I don't know the last time I took mushrooms though. It's been a few years, but
Thursday.
it's not. Well, maybe it was. That's different though. That's
It's
very,
short term.
Yeah. Well, not so much. It's just lighter because it's not like a chemical.
Right.
And
No,
you
LSD
don't get
is
that
a
weird
fucking
stomach
made,
ache.
it's
and,
like when you do
very
cocaine,
intense.
that is made. Weed,
Right.
fine. Mushrooms.
Have you
fine.
ever tried
the
DMT?
organic stuff?
It opens your
DM?
mind.
No, I'm not, I wasn't
DMT?
interested in.
I
Joe
never
Rogan
tried.
loves DMT.
I never tried Molly either. Was everyone do
No,
Molly?
I never got into that. I think
What
I
is
may have.
what's DMT.
It's kind of the same thing, right? DMT
As
and
Molly?
Molly. It's the same
Yeah.
thing, right?
Well, I think that shit got.
I just don't
listen,
get into that
dude.
shit.
Mike, let's be serious. We're the same age. You're a couple years older, maybe. But like, if Molly was around,
No,
when we were in
Molly
high
is
school,
MDMA.
We would have done it.
I thought that was a Mixed Martial Arts Association.
No, it's actually a rap group.
Oh,
What?
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're from Long Island. Yeah. All right,
DMX,
yeah.
excuse me, Staten Island.
Okay. Yeah, you couldn't, I don't know, anybody with any kind of responsibility can't take acid.
No way.
You got
I
to
had
be like,
nothing.
it's got to be way before you own any property or have any
Nothing.
kids.
I had nothing on the plate. It was take acid, go to a friend's house, take a Nerf football, and pick it apart for fucking 12 hours watching the wall over and over again.
And it would be 12 hours. Like I sat in
Oh, yeah.
the living room of my house in college for 13 hours with two other guys. And it didn't seem like that at all because, we were on acid. But it was like just a lot of laughing. I wet my pants. I had to go and change
time
my
travel.
pants, and then like all of a sudden it's daylight and 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, what the hell? And I look and
2 days later.
Yeah. And my friend's like, he pulled all the tape out of a cassette tape and put it over his head and put a hat on. And like, he was just walking around going, I'm Mr. Joe, Irish Rastafarian. It's just, I can't do that now. My brain won't handle that now. It was fun, but I can't now.
Even if we won the Powerball and went to that island for 2 months, like how the fuck would our bodies react to that now?
Right.
What?
Yeah, that's true too. My body's completely different now.
My heart rate goes up fucking when I have a beer. Okay.
The hangover from
well, because
acid.
you're 60. I mean, that starts happening around.
You're
then.
30. I'm 51. Mike is 62.
Yeah, right. Oh shit, am I that old? No. I'm 10 years less than that. I'm pretty.
There you go, 52. You're fine. But it's a whole thing, but I like that you're taking that or trying that stuff, Josh, because that you are going to watch over the.
I'm planning on trying everything, like all the drugs you were just mentioning. Like I was never one to do drugs or like drink in high school, and I still never really did drugs. I
do them now.
That's
what I'm going to do. I love how you wait till you have a baby to be like, fuck it, I'm going to do acid.
Yeah, I'm going to do all the drugs now.
It's a midlife crisis, I'm like, I want to go hiking. I want to go do drugs.
I'm going to
just 2 weeks. 2 weeks where it's just, I'm giving myself a hall pass to just try everything and see what happens.
Probably check with your wife and your daughter just to make sure.
They're going to talk me out of it. I don't.
Probably.
You're going to be holding that baby and that baby's tongue is going to come spiraling out of its mouth and horns are going to be growing out of its head. And you're going to whip that thing like it was a friggin' like moth that landed on your shirt. So don't.
No, I'm not going to be home with them. I'm thinking about doing this out in the woods somewhere
right.
and
That's
film
the best
it.
place to do it.
You need to win the Powerball first.
To go out in the woods with a tent and do drugs.
2 months?
I need to
for 2 months. Yes, because you need 2 months.
Yeah, you don't need to win Powerball. You can come and do that over here in Newton Hill.
I didn't know that was a 1%er activity.
Maybe. You need time off.
No, I'll just film it while I do it, and it'll get a Netflix thing. It'll be good for the podcast.
That's another thing, Isaiah. Imagine, like everyone's got a camera on them now. Imagine that when we were taking acid before cell phones, before people could record everything. I mean, that's just
it's fucked up.
Ridiculous. I mean, I can't even imagine what that would have, what the video, like online, I would, like that, those videos.
Dude,
showing
there was
up.
there was a party that I went to. I remember I was probably, I don't know, let's call it senior in high school. I was all fucked up from 15 to 21 after my mother died and did all kinds of stupid shit. There was a party that was I don't even know where the fuck it was. And everybody was tripping their fucking balls off and having a good time and this and this and this. But the guy who hosted the party had kind of a loft, or there was a room up these stairs, and there's music playing, everybody's doing what they're doing. And all of a sudden he starts fucking throwing shit out of his fucking room, out of the loft into the middle of the floor. And you're like, what? You're tripping, you're seeing trails now. I'm like, is this real? Like, because everything is this real? He's hucking shit and he's screaming up there. And we're like, okay, what the fuck is that? Then he had a drum set up there. He starts fucking throwing his drum set.
Oh,
everything
Jesus.
starts going out of, get the fuck out of my house. And we're like, wow, this is taking a fucking weird turn. And you're tripping your balls off, Josh. So you got to realize you're already hallucinating. You're already just trying to be like,
things around you are
this is my cup
sensitive.
of water and I need to be very sensitive with. And this guy starts fucking screaming. And shit, so I'm seeing a drum set go and I see like a trail for 2 fucking hours afterwards. Like, what the fuck? And he loses his fucking mind. And we had to leave. And it was at night in the dark. So we're all just wandering up the fucking street in the dark. I'm sure that didn't end well for a few people. I managed to get home. And the next time
turned out to be O.J. Simpson.
Right. He killed the bitch. Sorry. And the waiter. But I saw him a handful of weeks later. Again, we're in high school. He might have been a few years older. His hair was white and he went to God. Like he literally was, that is the epitome of bad trip. And I'm like, so you were the guy I used to come to for coke and ass? Not anymore. The Lord, Isaiah, the Lord. His hair was white. What are we, fucking 20 years old? His hair is white. He's growing his hair. And I'm like, I really think I should stop doing acid. And I pretty much at that point was like, I'm good. I'll get really fucking, that was fucked up. That was fucked up.
The hangover is awful too. I mean, I always woke up with icicles in my stomach and like my joints, every single joint in my body was it hurt, and then I always like ended up with some kind of grime. Like it didn't matter. It could have been 12 hours. It could have been like, a whole 24 hours, but then it's like, oh, what's all over my skin? It was like I walked through a chimney or something, Did
it mess with your serotonin at all? Like, were you like depressed after?
Oh yeah. Like
no question, because it's the downside of a
so
high.
Heightened.
Right.
And then it like all kind of just retracts and
that's what always scared me about like ecstasy, because I would have friends that would be like, no, I can't do it that day because I'm going to be sad that day. Like they would plan on when they were going to be like depressed for a full 24 hours, and I was like, that the backside doesn't sound like it's worth the upside.
Yeah. No. Well, it was more like when I was taking it, it was more exhaustion.
Yep.
It was the adrenaline and the heightened senses, and then I had to take another like whole 24 hours to recover.
And that was when we were fucking in high school.
Yeah, that's like
college.
High school.
That's why I'm saying
20s.
Now we'd make it 15 minutes and just fucking heart would blow out of our chest and we'd be dead.
I'd be in the emergency room.
Downside, then you get songs like "In My Room" because that's probably how Brian Wilson was feeling.
Right.
Just a little down.
Right? Hey, Mike, that was a funny joke he said.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. There we go.
There's nothing coming out of your sound effect thing.
There's nothing. Isaiah's he looks like he's tripping balls right now. Look at him. This won't fit in here. I want this to be in here.
You fucking heard it, bitch.
No, there was no sound coming out of it. And the next thing you're going to say is you're going to mention 30 years in radio again.
35.
You know what? We're going to start playing a bingo on this show. Anytime Isaiah says 30 years in radio, you drink. Or you take an eye drop.
Yeah, I'm going to take another dropper. Jesus.
Hold on. Hey, guys, so 30 years in radio.
Drink.
Fuck you, drink. Put that fucking droplet in your mouth. Because let me tell you what, 30 years in radio.
And go.
It's like watching Cheers, and when they yell "Norm," you drank. Can you imagine how fucked up you'd be? Anyway, Josh, so listen, I spent 30 years in radio.
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Why aren't you guys drinking?
I'm not. I can't. I gotta lose.
Josh, you were supposed to take 3 vials. I want Josh to trip.
I'm afraid of that thing.
He's not going to trip balls.
Listen, Josh, you won't. You know why? Because I did 30 years in radio.
God.
Like a prison sentence. I did.
All right, next week we're going to have a guest because this is...
Fuck guests. I'm so tired of talking to people. I don't really give a fuck about anybody's shit. This is fun.
There's actually somebody I'm trying to get from a Netflix documentary I just watched about a hockey team called the Danbury Trashers.
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Danbury.
It was basically a mob-owned hockey team in the UHL. Nice. It was like the Worcester Railers, but owned by like a mob boss.
Wow. Owned by fucking the Godfather.
Yeah, it's awesome. Called The Untold Story of like Penalties and Crimes or something on Netflix. It's it's like Tiger King, but on the ice.
Wow. That sounds, is that on Netflix right now?
It is.
Okay. I got to watch that. I just watched Count Me In, which is that documentary about drummers and the drummer mindset.
I watched that
Have
too.
You seen that? Because you're a drummer, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. And they talked to like Stephen Perkins from Jane's Addiction and Taylor Hawkins from the Foo Fighters and
Chad Smith.
Chad Smith is in there. Yeah, and it's all like, it's so funny because they're talking about drummers and jazz drummers and Ringo Starr versus, some other massive drummer. And then the whole documentary stops in the middle because every single person they talk to goes, John Bonham. It was like a unanimous thing right in the middle of the documentary. It was like, he was the great, they all agree like he was the greatest drummer ever. So,
him and Keith Moon, they spent a lot of time on.
Yeah, Keith Moon, that's right. The guy from Iron Maiden. Or no, it was the guy from the Kinks. Or no, what was the guy who said it was Keith Moon?
Keith Moon's in the Who.
Once I saw Keith Moon, then that was it. I knew what I was going to do. Oh, it was the guy from Deep Purple. It was the guy from Deep Purple.
Deep Purple.
Oh, he saw that.
He said, I saw the Who, and it was like, he said it was, they all talk about that mind life-changing experience.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I saw the Who, and I couldn't take my eyes off of Keith Moon. I decided I wanted to play the drums.
And also his sound, like, isn't like other drummers. And I think Chad Smith described it best when he was like, he understood time better than anybody else. Like it was almost like he understood the timing of it, not like the beat. It was like a different way of thinking.
Of Charlie Watts, right? And they were talking about Charlie Watts. It was kind of funny that, he said he was always in the pocket and he laid down this solid rhythm that you couldn't break. And they showed, I forget who was talking about. They showed one of those early 60s Rolling Stones gigs where all the girls run on the stage.
Like the Beatles.
And so Mick Jagger and Brian Jones, they're all scattering. Charlie's still playing the whole time. And then these two girls go up and they grab Charlie like around the neck and they're like kissing him and pulling at his jacket, still playing.
Love it.
I bet
That's a professional.
I bet the meter didn't even change that whole time.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's a good one too.
I would have loved to see John Bonham. Very similar to Keith Moon, where it just the fucking try to listen to that motherfucker wasn't reading music. That shit's just playing.
And John Bonham didn't even know how to play the drums before he like around the time he joined Led Zeppelin is when he started playing drums, right?
No. He was already very well.
He had to have been in a few bands before.
Zeppelin.
But the point is, when you don't read music, it's different than Charlie clearly read music with the Stones, and it was simple: keep time.
Right.
Like he was in a jazz band before the Rolling Stones, I believe. And then you get someone like Bonham, who's just like fucking let's go. Someone like Keith Moon, let's go.
Right.
Compared to a Neil, do I say this right? Peart.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right.
There's so many different. I love fucking drums.
Yeah, I mean, just any musician, they're all different, but it's a great documentary. Even if you're not,
what's it called?
It's called Count Me In.
Count Me In. Okay.
Yeah, and even if you're not like a musician and you're not, or even if you're not into, music too much, it's just interesting the take on life.
Yeah.
Because it's the people they talk to, it's their whole life.
Right.
Yeah. Like drums of their life.
Count Me In on Netflix.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
Get one of those people on the show, Josh. What the fuck?
And it's the perfect documentary for me too, because that's all I watch when I go to a concert. Is like I don't watch the lead singer. I'm always focused in on what the drummer's doing.
Right.
I never watch the whole concert.
Right. Hey, Josh, can you say something about the Nazis so we can wrap this up?
I saw a good Nazi movie about them moving to Argentina, and they're still there. And do you want me to get one of the Nazis on? Not sure how I feel about you using a mic. It's a little weird.
It's gonna be 30 minutes of Nazi jokes at the boat.
Oh my God. Is it?
Hey, you guys like the History Channel?
Hey, everybody.
Right?
I thought
Did you know
Hitler
basically invented Adderall?
Hitler had some great ideas killing the Jews.
Oh, Jesus.
Come on, everybody. Fuck Poland while we're at it.
All right, you guys.
All right.
I'm see you next week. Dog.
A Nazi ending. Jesus Christ.
What?
All right, man. I'll see you later.
I think the stuff's kicking in.